because buying a used Audi S4 is always a great financial decision, especially the V8s.
Yep. 2006 B7 Audi S4 6-speed manual, 112,000 miles approximately. I've always wanted one of these. This one's a little rough, needs a little bit of attention, but for the price I was able to work out with Hans, it was worth it to me. Since I just got to Florida August 3rd, I've yet to do what I need to do to get my Florida license, so I couldn't register the car or anything like that while I went to see it. He was 2 hours north of me, and we worked out a deal where he trailered it back to my house, and he was super gracious about it, took care of it, sent me pictures and text messages the whole time. It was a great experience buying from Hans, and I can't speak highly enough of him for someone I just met. And this is Hans. He's the guy who sold me the car, one of the coolest dudes I've ever met. We talked about everything under the sun for like an hour and a half when I went to see the car. As you know, this is the V8 version, 4.2 liters, with the chain guide issues, but Hans was very open and honest about not being able to verify if the chains were ever done, since you know everybody claims they are. As we go over the car here, you'll see the headlights are very faded, need to be polished out and replaced. The larger B7 front grille looks like it was plastic dipped multiple times, or just plastic dip just to cover up some damage. The hood has some dents and faded paint, sun fading. The mirror is pretty bad. The chrome on the mirror is pretty bad. I don't know if to polish it or to replace the mirror with a black version or A4 version. I'm generally not a fan of chrome, so we will see what we do with that. The seat, the passenger seat, is pretty tore up. A friend of mine suggested getting some aftermarket seats, but I rather just replace the stock Recaro. As these cars get older, there's plenty of them getting parted out around the area, so I'm sure I can get the parts I need in decent shape. As you can see, the auto dimming mirrors are a little damaged and need to be replaced. The shift boot is pretty tore up. The back seats look pretty decent. I mean, they show some use, but nothing crazy, nothing broken, nothing damaged. Might have had a pet in there. The car is generally intact, just dust and leaves and fingerprints and signs of it sitting under a tree for a while. It's 100% stock, completely stock, so that's a great base to start from. These cars are often either very tastefully modified or pretty much abused, so it was very nice to be able to find one that was stock and unmolested. The wheels have cobwebs on them, and they're not my favorite kind of wheels. I actually like the B6 wheels better, but we'll see how they clean up. Car brakes good, but it could use some rotors and some refresh on the calipers and things like that. Plus, what's the fun of having the car if you're not gonna mess with it, right? Passenger mirror also needs some love, and all the chrome trimming around the windows. The passenger doors are pretty good. The door cards look decent, but woof, this car needs a wash. Paint looks decent in a lot of areas. And also, Hans hooked me up with ECS coils and spark plugs and cabin filter and a couple other things I haven't really looked at yet. That was a nice little come up to find in the back seat. The central information cluster on the dash is messed up. It's showing like repeated images of itself, so that's something I have to look into. It has 110,000 miles, not 112 as I thought. The handbrake is pretty much decorative. It doesn't do anything. I have to look into that as well. The radio is also partially removed, so I imagine it doesn't work. The wipers, I shouldn't have touched them. He did tell me the wiper motor doesn't work, and I had to try for myself, and I got them stuck, so I had to push them back down with my brother's help. The engine sounds very healthy, and as I stated before, we have no idea if the chains were ever done. The last owner did tell Hans he did them, but everyone with these cars always says that to try to sell the car for it. What is very encouraging is, from a dead cold start, I had Hans not warm it up for me or anything like that, and it makes no noise and it revs nice and there's no obvious signs of chain wear. I do have some hope for this vehicle. I am still going to order the kit, and I will try to keep a keen ear out to see if I can hear any initial rattle on startup, and then I will tear into the motor and get those chains replaced. But for now, seeing as the B7 allegedly has a little bit less of a failure rate and some alleged updates on the chain, I will take my chances with it as the car sounds and drives very healthy. Here my brother is helping me wash the car, which he pretty much did all the work while I messed around with his drone and I helped out towards the end. But that's what big brothers are for, right? I recently had a PWG 2011 F10, turbo upgraded, runs on ethanol, tuned by David Shoup. Had the 8-speed auto with XHP stage 3 tune as well. It was a pretty quick car. I had power flex bushings all around since the F10 doesn't have a lot of suspension options. I-box sway bars, Bilstein V8 shocks on H&R springs, and it was probably quicker than this car will ever be, but this car is just going to be more enjoyable. I desperately wanted a manual, and I've always wanted one of these cars since I was younger. And being older and having more experience with all kinds of different cars, I now feel a lot more comfortable owning one of these and putting a lot of work into it. And it's nice to see the platform had been pushed forward a little bit more in the last few years. There's a handful of new upgrades available for the vehicle since the last time I looked at it years ago, and I'm looking forward to building this car into an NA monster, and who knows, maybe I'll push it into a supercharger eventually. But for now, I want to get it clean, restored, lowered, wheels, all the bushing replacements, bolt-ons, tuned, obviously exhaust work, who knows, maybe towards the end a supercharger. But for now, we finally got it washed up a little bit. Nothing crazy, just get it all the dust and cobwebs off. First things first, gonna address the valve cover that is leaking. Perfect opportunity to utilize the coils and spark plugs that Hans left in the car for me. I hope you enjoyed this video. Like and subscribe if you'd like to follow me on my journey to restore this vehicle.